Yeah.
So today we were studying one project design actually. Uh, you already did survey on it. I was there during that time. But what you did there is you have you have done extensive survey on it, but you don't know what you do after that, right? The survey practice you have understood. Anyway, you will draw diagrams and all, but knowing what next you will do as a environmental part. So the design aspect for a particular project, that again only public health water supply scheme. So that what we are going to study now. Okay. So you already know there is no river water supplies there. You have studied borewell water. They already planned there. All the borewell pipeline connection they all given there, and water was supplied from the morning. It was the only village where people used to get continuously more than 4 to 5 hours of groundwater. So there is not yet any surface water they have designed, right? So today we will get to know a complete package how we can design this treatment plant, how we can install this in that area. Okay. So you can able to see my screen also, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Riyaz.
sir.
Okay. So there is some theory behind it. I'm not going to read all those things. So you already wrote on this in video questions. Why we need to do, plan water supply, what its advantages. You got to know, right? Mainly 90% diseases we can avoid if we provide good source of water, right? And the main important phase of water itself is treatment of disinfecting, right? It's the last treatment. We have to provide that at any cost. So you know all the theory behind that. So I'm not going to cover all this thing now. Okay. So what we are interested is all the chart of designing each unit. Okay. So planning will take place from when. So we first what we do first we allocate some sources, right? First what we will do. So some sources we allocate some water body source. Okay, it may be river. Mainly we focus on river or reservoir. Reservoir is the main important thing, right? From that we plan because all day we can get water. All 365 days we can plan that. That's why we build dams. We construct dams in river because just to store the water that is sufficiently available for us throughout the year. While considering to river and all, only in certain circumstances is available. Okay. So as you know, first we build intake structure. Here, somewhere we are drawing this thing. We build. I don't know whether we have built intake structure there, but let's see. We plan this also. Okay. Then next part is we have to do this. We have to design water treatment plant. After that, what we do, we design elevated tank or any higher elevation tank to store the filter water. That to overhead tank we design. I think you already did that, right? Then other very important thing after doing all this thing is we have to design this thing. How you can control the flow between the branch of each houses is using these walls. Okay, there is so much walls are there, gate walls, uh, you know 3 to 4 walls are there just to control the flow when it is required to make the flow or decrease the pressure. So we install this wall, hydrant walls is there, fire hydrant walls are there, screw walls are there, right? Gate walls are there. So many walls mainly to function this treatment plant, just to operate it in good way. So we use this. Next, you have hydrants. It's nothing but fire hydrants. If you want to take the water from the treatment plant for fire extinguishers and all, we use this. Then you have this distribution network, which consists of main and branch lines. Okay, through this we will supply water. So this is complete picture what you study in the subject water supply and treatment. Okay. Yeah. So we will move on now. Okay. So first unit you studied the demand of water, right? So you have used to forecast the population there. So once we build any structure, it should withstand for the future population, right? So here some concept are coming. You already know this. So design period one concept and demand of water is one more concept. Okay, design period 40 years, 50 years will take, but the demand it all varies every year. Okay, because after 10 years some industry may be planted there and some residential activity may be increased there. So these also we take up while designing any water treatment plant. Okay, so then the factor which affect this design, I think you studied it in your video exam. So these are the things which make all the demand we focus on to vary, like city size, climate, habit of population, industry, development of sewage systems. So many factors which are there, which makes this demand to vary. Okay. So now coming to the picture, uh, what measure to be taken to maintain the quality of water? DO should be high, algae should be high, aeration should be provided there, temperature of water should be maintained low. So there has to be standards of water for public distribution. So these measures we take. You're seeing some data here. What it is? This is your laboratory things that you're going to study now. I mean, this semester they have tested actually what are some source they have identified, and first initially they tested water characteristics here. Okay, physical characteristics you have seen here. So this is total solids and this is pH. So many test parameters they are given here. Hardness, you have experiment, right, which is coming. See, they have measured it with calcium carbonate scale. You see now, and fluoride you have, which is used for disinfection. So these things also you have in your syllabus, but we are not doing this. Finding out iron, manganese, nitrates. Okay. So all this thing we estimate. We try to find out what is this limit, whether it's suitable for drinking or not before planning. Okay. So next moving to this, there comes total requirement of water. We calculate this knowing population and demand. We go for knowing water requirement. Okay. So that we can use by these four methods. Uh, Actually, they did using all these things and they use geometric method to calculate. Okay. So this is your treatment plan, which is their planned well. Yeah. So what you're seeing here is start from the raw water from the river. So they build intake structure for that. Then they have installed screen, maybe fine screen or core screen. After that, it moves to aeration tank. They're also providing pre-chlorination, right? You study pre-chlorination and post-chlorination. Here they're doing it both. Okay, we call it as double chlorination, and then it is moved to coagulation flocculation tank. So we have to design this one, and we have to design the screens also. So we have to design sedimentation tank. Then filtration, maybe slow sand or rapid sand, whatever we choose, we have to design this tank. So mostly when designing, what you can see is we are designing this dimension, right? While coming to sedimentation, we usually design its length and breadth. So length will be higher, right? So that ratio we take, length is how much of breadth. Okay, so after that, knowing Q value, we try to find what is L and what is breadth. And here also same. And for this also, we again calculate the same ratio, filter length and breadth. So we'll see the design aspects now, what and all we're going to do. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you know how they're doing it. They collected census data first. Okay. So rate of demand they done. Then population they have taken from census data last 10 decade actually, from 1951 to 2011. What was the population they took from census? Then they're trying to estimate for the year 2050 population. Okay, knowing this 2011 population using geometric method, having this R value, they are using this. Okay, here. So this is the population data they calculated. Actually, it should be this much. They did something wrong. It should be 1 lakh 80,000 something. Okay. Then, if the Nandi Hill is very famous for visitors, obviously demand will be varying, right? Pilgrims will come to visit temples, marriage will be there, campus. So per capita demand it will be varying. So we have find out total demand as this much at the end, knowing all the variation 0.0213 meter per second. Okay. Then we multiply factor of safety. Just like in construction, you know what factor of safety is. So we are multiplying with 1.8 times the total demand. So this we got answer. So this is the maximum demand. With respect to meter cube second, it is 0.038. Okay. So now, as you know, main purpose of this conveyance, we have to design many things like pipes, pumps, valves, nodes, junction. It starts from the reservoir, right? So pumps are very important if we are providing in a, if the it is not situated in a gravity flow, then we again install the pumps there. So power required, how much power required uh, to lift the water? So that is very important to calculate now. So knowing this, then only we go to the market and we will buy which pump it is important for us. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Next, coming to this, we try to know this capacity of pumps. Okay, so what is this? Yeah, yeah. So quantity of water through pumps is this Q. We calculated this, knowing 8 hours pump works per day, and also we do it for a second. So we multiply by 60 to 60 with 8 hours. So we got it this much of quantity required while pump is working. Okay. Then you know Darcy's equation Q is equal to AV. So many fluid mechanics concept comes here. So using this, we trying to find out what is the diameter of the pipe required that we have to start from the rising main. Means to tell it, rising main means what? From intake structure, if you are installing any pipes, the first pipe which we saw now, sorry, I'll clear that out now. So first pipe we will keep that we call as rising main from the intake structure that we build inside the river. Okay. So this is the diameter that we have find out for that. Knowing that water will be lifted with 8 hours of pumping, this is the diameter we calculated, providing rising man of it. 42 centimeter. Okay. So next, we design pump capacity now. If we are installing pump to it, because we have to lift the water, right? In the intakes also, we install pump in every treatment plant. We install pumps in distribution network also. We install. So what capacity you need, knowing that only we can buy from the market. So we decide that now. So you people know for this pump principle of working is its pressure, total head we call, that is nothing but potential energy. So we have to do that now. Okay. Yeah. So this, you're seeing this formula, head required, and one more formula is brake horsepower. It is in the first. So this is the formula to calculate. It is measured in brake horsepower. So yeah, so the Q value you have find out how much rate of flow happening there. The W is unit weight of water. It is 1,000. Then total head, which is nothing but your potential energy that pump will operate. So that is one way of finding out, very important. So here you have static head determined by your RL, height of RL, lowest means highest from lowest RL, and then over a tank, how much height you are providing it, right? So that also act like a energy. How much head it is there, that much of pressure we can induce to our individual pipe, right? So this over a tank, how much centimeter it is? 10 we consider, 10 meter. And this elevation difference you already found, that becomes your static head. Okay, so this becomes overall full head. But you have one more thing called head loss due to friction. Inside the pipe, if it is a loop network, when water is moving, every L junction or T junction, you will face some loss of water, loss of pressure, sorry. So that loss of head due to friction, we find out by using this formula again. Okay, so this friction coefficient, this length of the pipe, and this is one more thing called velocity. Okay, and then divided by 2 gravity and the diameter of the pipe. If you do, you get the head loss due to friction. Okay, so yeah, so next what we have is your main thing. This HV we calculate by using this formula. Potential head is V square by 2 GD. You have to substitute here, right? That one more HV is there, right? Yeah, here, this one. This we calculated. This is potential energy. This is head loss due to friction, and this is total head. Okay, so all the three are very important to make water flow through pipes. So all this we call as hydraulic calculation. What you are studying here, all it will works with the principle of Bernoulli's equation. You studied that in fluid mechanics, right? So there also V term was there, and head S term also there. So that we are designing here. Okay. So so now treatment plant is coming. So we have calculated pumps is brake horsepower. So actually at the end we put all the value here. Okay. So this brake horse formula was there, Q, W, and G. Okay. This 75 and this is efficiency. This formula is here. So at the end we calculate how much power required here. This is the formula. Okay. See this. Yeah, this is the formula. So once we calculate, next is we try to study about each units of the flow chart that we have studied now. Okay, we start from the screens, right? So it may be fine screen or coarse screen. We just design this dimension. What is this length? Okay, so yeah, you, this Q value is the flow, it is 0.11, and then V value, velocity we assume as 0.1 meter. This is the area we got. Then you know area is equal to length into breadth. To calculate length, we divide area divided by h. So height we design, we assume 3 meter height. Okay, so this is a thing we got at the end. Okay, so next you have tank, sedimentation tank, which is important, right? So here also what we are doing, we're designing length and breadth, right? Yeah. So this is a tank. You have to design length and breadth. Okay. We have to at least assume length is so much of breadth, right? And then we need a total area so that we calculate it first, right? So see here. So yeah, this tank goes for 8 hours. Water treatment is we divide this total flow divide by this how much hour it is working in terms of second. Okay, so we found this value. Then detention time. Detention time means what? A particle entering here, how much time it takes to reach, right? Means to attain all the sedimentation, it has to remove all the suspended particles, right? So from here entering from this area to end, how much time it takes we call as dt. So that is 1.5 hour or this much of second. So how much water this tank will be treated now? We multiply this with Q value, we got this much. So you know that volume now. So consider this much of depth, you will get the area. Okay, you divide this volume, assuming depth of tank is 3 meter. You have studied this, right? Removing efficiency is independent of its depth. It only depends on length, right? In sedimentation tank. So we just assume 3 meter of depth. It doesn't require more than that. So we divide volume with depth, then we get area. Okay, so you know area is equal to length into breadth. So area we know now. So we assume one ratio. So we kept it here. So we get the value breadth and length. Okay, so at the end we provide freeboard also in case if we need any service and all. 0.5 meter height freeboard and sludge deposition at the depth. Again we provide extra. So rather than 3 meter, we can increase the depth up to 4 meter. And this length into breadth we already calculated. So this is the dimension of sedimentation tank. Okay. So next, what it was remaining, one more tank was there, right? Where coagulation was provided. Yeah. So here also in the same fashion. So what we are doing, assume the tank works for 4 hours. Okay. So yeah, 4 hours. Let the tank work in terms of second. We converted that. Then volume is Q flow into detention time. So detention time is this much. The Q value flow we already calculated in meter per second. So if you do that, we'll get a volume. So if you divide by some depth, it becomes area, right? So you just know you have studied that. So you're using assume 2.5 meter of depth, you get the area this much. Then same procedure you do. Area is equal to this much. Now we are designing what dia also. Okay, because what happening in pipe we provide coagulation in drop wise, either liquid or in powder. So this pipe dia also we are designing it is this much. Okay, so after that depth of the tank is we are again as you studied in the previous we provide 0.5 meter freeboard and 0.5 meter height for sludge deposition. So the dia is 30 meter. I mean depth of the tank will again increase to rather than 2.5 meter, it is 3.5 meter. Okay, so this dia of the pipe where we are providing coagulation we have designed, and depth which this tank has to be there we have designed this much. Okay, yeah. So that is over. So next is your filtration tank, slow sand filter, rapid sand filter. I think you know that. So we are adapting here slow sand filters. Okay. So because it is very good in giving biological treatment also compared to rapid sand filter, and it's for village, right? Very small village we are designing. So rate of filtration of this water, it's not important for this, right? Yeah. So now considering we are only adapting slow sand filter, so we have to design same length into breadth for this time. Okay. So demand is we calculated this much, and filter works for 8 hours working hours, just like everybody has working hours. We think means people will be working right in the treatment plant. So there is 8 hours this filters work. So discharge is now we have to divide this demand by 8 hours. It will become this much. Okay. So assume length is equal to 2 times of breadth. Okay. Then total area is we have to divide this V by D. Okay. And also rate of filtration, it is given 100 liters per meter square per hour, or in terms of meter cube per meter square per hour, you can divide it by 1000, you get this much. So now area is important for us, so we do that. Maximum demand is this much, we know, and we multiply it by in terms of second into 16 to 60 and divide it by this rate of filtration. Q by actually R. Okay, that becomes your area here. Okay, means you have to divide the flow with how much filter this slow sand capacity has. Okay, rate of filtration. So it is 0.1 meter cube, and this is a flow happening, and this is our filters which is capable of filtering. So if you divide that, you'll get total area which it is capable of filtering out. Right. So this is the area we got now. But as you know, we provide a set of slow sand filter. Why? If one filter doesn't work, one will work as a standby. So that is why the total area which it is filtering now, we divide it by 2, means we are providing 2 units. If one doesn't work, one we can use. So once we know the area, you just know the ratio, divide it, you will get the length into breadth. Right? You know area is equal to length into breadth. So now assuming length is so much of breadth. Okay, 1.5 times you take. So area is this much. So if you multiply this, you will get a breadth answer. Again, you substitute to the ratio 1.5b, you will get length also. Okay. So that is how we have calculated slow sand filter. Okay. So next what we have is disinfection tank. This is very important. You know it, right? We are in the pandemic, so we have to kill most of the bacteria or viruses. So maybe chlorine you have seen here. In this methodology, what we are doing, we are doing twice. Disinfection is done by 2 times, right? Pre-chlorination, post-chlorination. So designing this tank where chlorine is added is one of the important things. You have one more experiment, right? You are learning called residual chlorine and available chlorine in bleaching powder, right? Estimation of available chlorine bleaching powder, that experiment you have, and finding out residual chlorine which tap water has, that also you have. So knowing that all concept, see in practice what design will comes for you. Okay. So first what we assume is first we consider our demand in terms of meter cube per second. It is this much, we calculated that. Then 1 hour, the contact time is 8 hours per day, we assume this. Then how much volume we have to treat, means this Q value in terms of this 8 hours. Right, we got this much. We just converting into per day. Okay, 16 to 60 we do that. Next, assume chlorine dosage required for disinfection is 0.3 ppm. this much of parts per million, or for zero point 0.3 mg per liter chlorine, it should be there. Then only disinfection is achieved. So we assume this much of ppm we are using, and we don't know how much chlorine is there in bleaching powder, right? In market it might be varies from 30% to 60, 70%. So we also calculate that now. So amount of chlorine required is now is this volume to be treated, and then how much capacity it has. We multiply that, so this is the amount we got, amount of chlorine required. Next, as you know, 30% of chlorine this bleaching powder has. It means 100 kg bleaching bag contain 30 kg of chlorine. Right? If you buy 100 kg of bleaching powder bag, it only contains 30 kg of chlorine in it. So that what means 30% of chlorine means. So we estimate this in lab. One experiment we have on this, right? So available chlorine of bleaching powder, that concept is coming here. So now the total amount of bleaching required is, we divide this actually in 30 kg. Even if we take 100 kg, only 30% chlorine is there. So this is our chlorine required, and this is the bag we purchased. So 30% we divide this. So this is the amount we got in per day. So this into 365 if you do, you get annual consumption of bleaching powder, this much. Okay, then assume depth as 1 meter. Now total area is, we divide this volume by this 1 meter depth of tank. This is area we got, which is essential for us to calculate length into breadth. So take length is equal to 2 times of the breadth. So area you know, and L is equal to 2 times of breadth you know. Now what you do, you design length and breadth of the tank. Okay, so that is what they did it here. Okay, so next is main one more concept, or this distribution system design. Okay, so this is the last part. This all actually they will do using softwares. Like you have Econite, WaterCAD, WaterGem, CORGen, like the many software are there. Okay, so here how they do it, we will see now. Yeah, so you know velocity of the tank we provide is 0.5 meter for this distribution system. This is the velocity, and pipe diameter we choose 42 centimeter. So this is our working hours, 8 hours per day. Water has to be transported in the distribution network. Okay, so it may be loop type or branch type, any type distribution it may be. Okay, so Q is now this 8 hours we divide. Okay, this is the value of the flow demand we have done in the previous segment, and this is your working hours. We got this much of water to be transmitted. Next, you have one equation where to find out gradient we use this. Okay, V is equal to 0.85, CH R raised to 0.66, and S raised to 0.5. So this is all Chesky constant 140. And then R value is D by 4. You know that, right? It is D by 4 when it is in a circular. This R value, radius of what we tell, it is D by 4, right? So that we take, and that we got radius this much. The fluid mechanics concept will come now. Radius, this R value, I'm not remembering the name. R is equal to D by 4 we take there while designing flow in any circular pipeline, right? And then that you use this in its equation. 0.5, 8.5 is already in the formula. So Chesky constant is 140, and 0.15 you have just now designed this R value, and this value is this one. Actually, it's almost similar to your Manning's formula, right? Manning's formula 1 by n R raised to uh, 2 by 3 and into S raised to 1 by 2 used to do, right? So it's similar to that. So this constant they already given in the formula, and this Chesky constant one more is there, and R and S terms are coming here. Okay, so that formula is called Husserl's formula. Using this, we can find out gradient, how much slope we have to provide. Okay, so this is a value we got, slope. And if you do in calculator, you have to reverse this, you get this answer as value, say 1 in 900. For 1 meter 900 of slope we have to provide. So this is again what it means is this pipe how you design, means where we have to provide lower gradient, means 1 in 100. Okay, yep. So conclusion part is what public health engineering project can about efficient water, proper utilization, maintain geological balance between living being, organized community. So many things they have written. Yeah, this advantage they have written. It will make area disease free and more required thing for community. You people know, right? One day we can't survive without water. We can't imagine life without water. Even when you are renting a house, also you will choose such an area where you will get plenty of water, that too freely, right? Without paying for it in a tank price. So some advantage are written here. That is the conclusion part. So proper disposal of sewage into nearby sea. That also they are telling they plan that. So presence is here. Projects say no ships. Yeah. So there is no plan for that to study for you the sewage planning on drying bed. So simply they are given here. So this has to be removed actually from this conclusion side. So only you thorough with this up to here is the conclusion part. Okay. So still we are not planned for sewage and all. Only we are doing water supply. Okay. Yeah. So I will end my session now. I think cover the design aspect. So what we done to tell it to summarize. Yeah. So we design what I just take you to the flow chart. Yeah. So raw water intake structure, assume it is already there where we are taking water. Okay. From there we have design screens. Knowing is how much length we are providing, we design this length into breadth. Then we design this disinfection tank we are providing with two-way, right? So here and here. Next, we design this coagulation pipe diameter we have designed, right? How much this coagulation pump pipe where it will drop chlorine to it. Sorry, alum. Alum will be provided, right? So that also we design is diameter. Next, sedimentation tank and filtration tank. For both, we have designed length into breadth, right? Here, volume was there, and here somewhat we designed in the same fashion, finding the area, right? So for both, we have designed almost length and breadth we have to give. And this last chlorine tank, same. Okay, this tank what we design, no? Same tank. Okay, yeah. And also what we have done here for every supply, what was required? Pump, right, to supply water. So we also design how much power required for this raw water to lift the water. So that power requirement also we calculated in terms of break horsepower, right? So yeah, this is your live project. I think if you understood that, you will get to know. Okay, yeah. So I think I have done this class. To summarize, this is very important. Uh, what we have learned today is what we do after the extensive survey, designing all the tanks. What is the main thing? How this fourth semester subject is coming to picture actually that we have studied, right? Knowing this population detail of the village, and what is the pre-treatment also we give by 2 times of chlorination we have designed here. The second tank and 6th tank, both are same, right? And then we also design screens, how much, assuming length of the screen, how much it is, we have designed length into breadth also. Then we have designed this chlorination tank. We also designed how much pipe has to be there, right? While supplying this coagulation alum. What is the diameter of the pipe? We also designed that. Then sedimentation tank, since it's a village, we are planning to do only slow sand filter. Sorry, infiltration. So sedimentation tank, we have designed length into breadth, how much it was. Then filtration, we providing slow sand filter for a small village. So there also we calculated how much length and breadth we have to provide. So at the end, we have provided chlorination. Okay, so 2 times of chlorination we are doing. Yeah. So actually, they not only do like this. What you're studying is something 40 years old data, old way. But what now they are doing is using, especially what it consider is after designing this treatment plant, main thing what problem we will face is designing the distribution network, this one. Okay, for this you have to analyze many things. Okay, using softwares like ePanite is there, WaterGem is there, SewerGem is there, and yeah, so these are the very sophisticated software which is also provided by Bentley, which the CAD software, you know, right? So same company. So there we put all this data. We also check what is the demand varying there, right? I already told you design period only we take 40 years like that, but demand will be varying. Okay, after 5 years of time or after 10 years of time, what happens? There may be new industry might be accumulated there, or the way of life it might change there. So the demand is always changes. So we model using softwares like ePanit and all. What is the fluctuation of demand varying, and the data again we put it into the existing pipeline system, and again we analyze where it is lagging or any pipes if it is damaging, any node if it's not working. So like that we plan. Okay, yeah. So today that much only for you. Yeah, everybody is there, right? Only I'm seeing 10 students. So anything you have, I think drawing part, sir is going to teach you. I'm not much good in that. So only this is my part, environmental. So I did that. Okay. Yeah. So tell me the attendance now. Everybody is there. Akila is there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will. Okay. So Dina is there. Yeah. Divesh. Hanmant.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then Amit is there.
Sir, present, sir.
Okay. And Riaz. Riaz. Sanjay.
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. Shashi.
Sir, present.
Shashi.
Present, sir.
Shashi.
Present, sir.
Okay. Tanvir is there.
Sir, I'm here, sir.
Sanjay. Vijay.
Rini, sir. Present, sir.
Okay.
We can leave, sir.
Okay.
Sir, yes, I'm present, sir.
Riaz is there. Okay.
Sir,
Yes,
Amit, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir, Amit, sir.
Amit, I called you, you didn't respond.
Sir, Dina present,
Oh,
sir.
I didn't heard you, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay, I will end the session now. Okay. We'll meet up in the next class.